Good afternoon, students. Today we will start a new chapter, that is chapter 4, The Great Indian Desert. So, first of all, children, what is a desert? A desert is a flat area which is covered with sand. It has very little vegetation and it receives little or no rainfall. So, we can say that a desert is any large region that gets very little rain every year and very few plants or animals live in the desert areas. So, this is a desert, and in this chapter, we are going to read about desert. So, children, have you ever been to a desert? I'm sure most of you must have been to a desert, and for those who have not seen a desert before, I'm sure you must have seen it in pictures. Now, which is the most common animal found in the desert? Can you tell me? Yes, you're right. Camel is the most common animal that we see in the desert. So, children, in this chapter, we are going to study about location and extent of the Thar Desert, vegetation and wildlife of the region, and the life of the people in the desert. So, let us now study about the desert. Location. The Great Indian Desert, also known as the Thar Desert, is located in the northwestern part of India, mostly in the state of Rajasthan. A part of it lies in the Punjab and Sindh province of Pakistan. It also extends into the northern part of Gujarat and the southern part of Haryana. Okay, so children, here we are learning about the location of the desert, location of Thar Desert. So, children, the Great Indian Desert is also known as the Thar Desert, and if you see the map over here, you can see that it is located on the northwestern side. So, Thar Desert, which is in the red portion, the part or the area which is in red portion is the Thar Desert or the Great Indian Desert, and it is located on the northwestern side, and it mostly lies in Rajasthan. But some parts of this desert is also found in Punjab. So it covers some part of Punjab also, and Sindh. Now, children, Sindh is a part of Pakistan. So if you will see towards the left hand side where Pakistan is written, just below Pakistan, Sindh is written. So Sindh is a part of Pakistan. It is a province of Pakistan. So some part of this desert also lies in Pakistan, and Thar Desert also covers a part of north part of Gujarat and the south part of Haryana. Then it also covers a part of Gujarat and the south part of Haryana. So this is the total extent or location of Thar Desert. So this desert covers some part of Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan as well as Gujarat. So this is the location of the Thar Desert. Now let us continue reading. To the west lies the Indus River Plains. To the southeast is the Aravalli Range. The run of Kutch lies to the south, and the Punjab Plains are located in the north and the northeastern part of the desert. Now, coming to what other things are found around this desert. So, to the west of this desert lies the Indus River Plains. or the plains which is formed by the river Indus. We have read about the Ganga river plains, Brahmaputra river plains now. So in the same way, there is another river plain which is known as the Indus river plain. And then to the southeast, we have Aravali range. So children, what is Aravali range? Aravali range is a long chain of mountains. So Aravali range is the name of a mountain chain. So to the southeast, we have a long chain of mountain which is known as Aravali range, and then run of Kutch. It lies completely towards the south, and the Punjab plains are located in the north and the northeastern part of the desert. Now, children, here, can you tell me what is Run of Kutch? So, children, Run of Kutch is a salty desert. It is a salty desert which is white in color, and it is the largest salt desert in the world. Yes, it is the largest salt desert in the world. So, this was the location of the Thar desert, and what are the other things that surrounds this desert. Now we will read about the physical features. The desert has an undulating surface with high and low sand dunes. The winds in the desert region move the sand dunes from one place to another. These dunes are in continuous motion and take on varying shapes and sizes. The sand dunes may rise to a height of 500 feet. So, children, this desert has a very smooth wave like surface. So, it has a smooth wave like surface. Undulating means smooth wave like surface, and it also has sand dunes. Now, what are sand dunes? Sand dunes are the small hills of sand. If you'll see in this picture, children, you can see a very smooth like surface is there. This is only known as undulating surface, and small hills of sand is known as sand dunes. So the desert has a smooth wave like surface, and it also has small hills of sand. Now, when the winds blow in the desert, they carry the sand dunes from one place to another. So, they lift the sand from one place and then deposit it in another place. So, the sand dunes keep on shifting from one place to another, and these sand dunes are in continuous motion means that they are constantly moving from one place to another. When the wind is blowing, they are carrying the sand from one place to another, so we can say that the sand is in continuous motion. And children, these sand dunes are of different shapes and sizes. They are not of the same size, or they are not of the same shape. Sometimes they become as big or as tall as 500 feet. So sometimes the sand dunes are very big and sometimes they are very small also. Now, the soil in the desert region is not very fertile, and because of severe wind erosion, it is blown away with the sand. Dust storms are common in the months of May and June. Now, children, do you see a lot of crops grown in the desert? Have you ever seen a picture where lots and lots of crops are grown in a desert? No. Why? Why is it so? So, children, it happens because the soil in the desert is a sandy soil. So, the sand which is found over there, or the soil which is found over there, is known as sandy soil. And children, sandy soil is not very fertile. Such type of soil is not very fertile. It is not fit for the growth of crops. And soil erosion is also very common over there. So, what is soil erosion? See, children, with the action of wind or with the action of water, what happens when the wind is blowing or when the water is flowing? They will carry the topsoil which is fertile, and they will waste it. So, children, what happens due to the soil erosion? or due to the blowing of the wind, the top surface gets destroyed. It gets destroyed, and this happens because every time the sand moves here and there. So the wind is blowing and the sand is moving here and there. That is why the soil in the desert is not fertile, and that is why a lot of crops cannot be grown over there. The most common plant or the most common thing which we can see over there is cactus. So that is why the soil is not fertile, and the dust storm is very common during the summer months, that is May and June. So dust storms means the storms of dust. It is a very strong wind that will carry or that will move the sand from one place to another, and when that storm comes you cannot see anything. So that is dust storm. So children, today we will only learn about the location and physical features of the desert. In the next class we will read about the climate and vegetation and wildlife of the desert. So you will read the chapter or you will read the portion which is taught today, and I will see you in my next session. Thank you children.